Hello Aquarius, welcome to your monthly chakra healing video for the month of May. We are going to get started. So I'm just going to move the oracle cards really quickly. And then we are going to begin. So, bottom of the deck, you have the Sun, the Seven of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. So, root chakra, you have the Queen of Pentacles, solar plexus, sacral chakra, you have Six of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Solar plexus, you have the Ace of Wands. Heart chakra, you have the Four of Pentacles. Third chakra, you have the Knight of Swords. Third eye, you have the Devil. And crown chakra, you have the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Now, for your oracle cards, you have Dry Desert and Ghostlands, which, if you ask me, are two very mirroring cards. You also have Drink More Water, Oshun, Yes, Ganesh, and You Can Do It, Archangel Michael. You also have Fertility. Okay. You have Peace and Inner Wisdom. Your planetary energy is affecting you during this month hilariously. It's Aquarius and air. Hilariously. And your messages from Offsets, you guys got these three, which is 1, Scales of Balance. You can pause it or read it. 2, Proper Burial for Freedom. And 3, Lunar Queen. So throughout this whole entire reading, balance is kind of like this kind of big focus throughout your reading. I feel like there is this almost like very airy Libra-esque energy lingering throughout your reading, because I feel like there is this duality to your reading, which is like two of the basically the same thing but in two different extremes. So you have like whole frosted land, and then you have the dry desert. It's like a very two ends of the same thing. Now, for your main part of the reading, what is going on with you guys for this month? Well, root chakra wise, I'm not really worried about you guys, because you guys have the Queen of Pentacles. For the most part, you are grounded. This, however, is in connection to your heart chakra. You guys are very much in your fixed energy right now. And you're not really budging too much, to be honest. You're not really budging. Are you kind of moving towards new opportunities, a new journey, and expanding that, especially with what Saturn's doing and the work that Saturn's doing with you guys? Yes, but for the most part, you guys are very much fixed in your energy. And for those who are in a relationship, you are very much fixed in that relationship. For those who are not in a relationship, you are very much fixed into wanting a relationship. That's definitely coming up very hard throughout this reading. You guys definitely want to be partnered up. There is a reason why this duality is the way it is. If you happen to be more on the masculine end of things, you're craving water. You're craving that like divine feminine energy. If you are more on the divine masculine, moving towards that with that energy, then you are craving more water. This is why it's coming up the way it is. Side note, I really hate that the oracle card from this deck is like that Oshun is Drink More Water, because she is such a very complex person, and I don't think they should have just given her that really boring, just random, I guess, message. I don't know. I just don't care for it. Anyway, so for the most part, I feel like you guys are shaking things up a little bit, even though you are very much grounded and even though you're very much fixed within your energy, there's still like you overcoming a lot of the mental health aspects, like how you've been affected throughout this time. You guys are really have a mouth this month as well. Just be mindful of that, because you guys are kind of just like being very, very bold, which is cool to an extent. The Knight of Swords in the third chakra is not necessarily a bad card, but it's not necessarily the nicest either. So just be mindful of the way you're communicating, because you might be very much centered and grounded within your own energy, within yourself, where you're just like, you know, within your fixed self, and you're just detached with how you are communicating, and not thinking about how on an emotional level it's affecting the other person. So just be mindful of how what you know, how you're communicating, because you might, you know, mean it in a good way, but you're just coming off a little bit detached, and you're just saying it in a way that's going to just come back to bite you. So just be mindful of how this is moving. This is one of the things that I will be looking at for you guys this month. Be mindful of that energy. It's not going to be fun to deal with later. This I do feel good about, because I feel like you guys are going to be actively, hopefully, because this also can manifest in the opposite sense, where you're thinking about being better and being in a better place, but you can't overcome the negativity and the negative aspects from the within your mental health that has been impacting you, and it's just like overwhelming. So hopefully this is like the other part of it, the latter, where it's just like you are overcoming a lot of these mental health issues and a lot of the frustrating parts of what's been going on socially as well, and having to stay home a lot. Definitely go out, be in nature as well, because you are an air sign. You do need to breathe. Even though you guys have been comfortable, you still need to breathe. There's gonna be more documentaries later. You guys can watch it later. You'll be fine. But I feel like for the most part, you guys need to be very mindful of your self-care for this month. Now, with the Ace of Wands being in your solar plexus, there is a lot of opportunities that's coming up, and the universe is really saying like, hey, go for it. You got this. Like, we're not saying no. Like, we understand, like, you're fine. Understand that you guys have still a huge influence with Saturn being with your energy right now, where it's gonna make you ground yourself, but it's also gonna open up doors, because Saturn doesn't want you to be, you know, not doing anything, not living your best life, or anything of that capacity. If anything, it's quite the opposite. There's a lot of fertility ahead for you, and that's the reason why it's looking like this, because at the end of the day, if what you want is to prosper and be in peace and just thrive with what you want to do on a mental level, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, on a physical realm level, then it's there. It's in the cards. You guys just have to do the work at the end of the day, because it's all about doing the work. Saturn doesn't want to deal with lazy people. You guys know that, because you're co-ruled by Saturn. But anyway, there is just a balancing effect that needs to take place with this. Again, and there's a lot of duality of the dark and the light. The extreme and the other extreme. It's definitely this very interesting duality that's happening with you guys, that I feel like you're either, and if you're watching this reading, you might be at one end or the other end of the spectrum. So just be mindful, because that will affect how the throat chakra is moving, and that's an area that could be either blocked for you, or you're using it correctly this month. It's up to you to decide. Now, with what's going on in your third eye, you have the Devil, Capricorn energy. What does Capricorn rule? Government. You guys see a lot of different changes and a lot of different movements happening, and how things are kind of coming to light too, because it's not just about what, you know, people are kind of, the way people are being selfish and the way people are not necessarily taking care of each other, especially in the United States. It's really not happening in the best way. There is a lot of demons showing and coming up, and you can see how people are being greedy, how they don't want to care for others, how they don't want to do their part. And you guys are going to kind of see how that unravels, and the karma, how that is being dealt as well. With that, like, Saturnian energy. So there's a lot of things kind of unraveling not just for the government, but also for you. So be very mindful of this. You do want to kind of there is a duality to this reading. So you could be the person that's watching this reading. You could be the Aquarius that's watching this reading for whatever placement you're looking for, whether it's your big three or your Venus or your Mars, and you're watching this reading and you're like, okay, well, I don't feel that I'm on the negative aspect of it. I feel like I'm more on a positive. Then you're looking towards more grounding, more balancing, more goals in the aspects that Capricorn excels in. So you're either going to be on the lower end, again, two different sides of two different extremes. You're either going to be on the other end or you're going to be on a different end. Well, where that goes is up to you. You choose. This is a choose your own story type of thing. You choose where you want to go at the end of the day. However, the energy is still there. There's a lot of root chakra grounding. You guys have been very airy for the past few years, and Saturn is not having it anymore. Like, it's just not having it. So there is a lot of root chakra grounding in connection to the root chakra. There's just a lot being done there. Finances, where you're gonna live, why you're gonna live there, why you're gonna love what you do, where you're gonna work, how long are you gonna work there for. All of these things you're going to have to answer to, so just be mindful of that. Now, with your crown chakra, you have the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles, 2 9s. Okay, pay attention to that number for this month. But this, again, there is a duality to this. This is the 9s are ruled by Virgo in tarot. So there is this kind of like grounding energy, and Virgo being a dual sign, it highlights its duality. You can either be in abundance with this whole entire like fertility situation that's going on, be at peace with your garden, be at peace with your life and what intentions you have set and all of these things, or you're going to be very much traumatized and on a rough end of it, where you're just like, oh, I don't know, I feel like I'm struggling. Like, you can either make the times, and especially the Saturn return, your like a positive thing, a positive transit, or you can really hurt yourself with it and come out of it like, yo, I got wrecked, I lost this person, I had to move over here for this reason. Like, it wasn't even a choice for you. It just happened because you didn't choose anything. So you have to choose your own adventure. That's the big part of this reading, and I hope you understood that part. That's like the really chunk and the meat and potatoes of this reading. You choose what you want to do. Choose your own adventure. What are you going to do? If you sit around and do nothing, you will suffer the consequences. If you sit around and actually think and plot and do, then you will benefit from your choices. Okay, so that was your reading for this month. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video, and don't forget to check out the Patreon as well, because we're always growing and learning over there. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.